Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay. Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And I'm so happy to be coming at you on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere on all the platforms. A station that leaves no listener behind. And always after top of the hour with the CNBC and NBC news and sports and everything at you. And this is the portion where I get to splatter more hope and happiness on you and tell you and show you and try to convince you and cajole you that life is good. It does not suck. And that there are news that we can talk about where it's good. And it's not what's wrong with people or what's wrong with the world or what's wrong with each other, but what is right, what is good, what is wonderful, and what is going on. So that's this show. I'm glad that you're here. Those of you who don't know or stumbled upon me, maybe you did not know I've been on for 480 consecutive weeks on the air, weekly show, same name, Take My Advice, I'm not using it, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, and sometimes called Get Happy with Dr. Marissa. I actually got promoted into the morning show, and that's why you're hearing me every morning now from 8 to 9. As you are on your way to work or school or whatever it is, going back to not normal. I still have yet to find a word that doesn't mean normal, because I don't want us to return to a place where we were, most of us, at least the ones I worked with as an organizational psychologist, were not happy in jobs they didn't like most of the time, in relationships that you didn't like most of the time. And hopefully, because of the pandemic, hashtag COVID silver lining, maybe some of those things that you took for granted, some of the relationships you took for granted, some of the, the restaurants or the things that used to do sort of, you thought you were entitled to. And when those things were taken away for the safety and the health of everyone, you probably were not happy about it, but hopefully you've taken those things for granted. So I'm having all of my clients, I do life balance coaching. And right now, before we jump back into the future, back into a better future. How's that? If you have time, and some of you who are still not working in full capacity have the time, I would love it if you wrote to me and tell me all the things that you now appreciate that you didn't before. And maybe write a little note to people who you haven't seen for a while, and just express how grateful and how much you appreciate them, and those a list of things that you used to take for granted that you don't now. So that we are marking this horrific year that we've come out of, or a little more than a year. And yes, I know about the Delta variant, and yes, it's probably better, even if you've been double vaccinated like I have and taken responsibility for our own health and those around us. Not a bad idea to continue some of those safe practices with the masks, with the hand washing, with the social distancing, just in case, because Lord knows we can't I don't know how many people would be able to survive another lockdown of sorts, because our mental health is certainly fragile. So I want you all to take a breath. All right, this is the moment. Take a breath with me. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Ah, soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. Another deep breath in. And releasing all the stories and the drama. And one last deep breath in. Connecting with me through Chi eternal energy, the breath of life that connects us all. And you can do that anytime during the day. Here's your mental health tip. Anytime during the day when you're starting to feel overwhelmed, maybe your schedule's starting up again, maybe traffic's starting up again. Don't close your eyes to breathe when you're driving. But that simple 3-breath sequence is a stress management tool, is a hashtag happy88 tool that I give to clients and anybody who's listening. If you're feeling overwhelmed, sometimes just those 3 deep, centering, cleansing breaths can allow you just to calm it down, take it a notch down, and then you'll be able to, receive, what should I do next? Or what was I doing and what's in front of me now? So that we're not overwhelmed with all that's coming at us. Does that make sense? Coolio. All right. And I wanted to show you another soundbite that I got when I was on location yesterday. And it was such a cool event. It's the first ever buyback event of fireworks. LA hosted it, modeled after its gun buyback program in an effort to reduce illegal fireworks during the 4th of July weekend, particularly in the Valley. And people came to anonymously surrender their fireworks at Brand Park, and this was yesterday in Mission Hills. It's through the sponsorship of LA Dodgers, Food for Less, Target, NBC Universal, and City Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez. All this, Michael Moore announced it. You saw it in the news. It was cool. I was there, and Fox was there, KTLA was there, ABC was there, CBS was there, and Dr. Marissa was there. And I actually scooped the first interview with the police captain, LAPD police captain. And I just wanted to show you the clip so that he can explain what's going on. Enjoy. And wasn't that great? I just love balancing out all of the bad news, all of the criticism against police, all of the things about, pointing fingers and all the bad examples, with balancing it out with all the good examples of what our police do, what they're involved in, how they are serving and protecting. I want to single-handedly change that from protect and serve to serve and protect, because that's what they do. And I'm happy to bring that to you. So Do not go away. After the break, I have two great segments. Those of you who listen to my Monday coverage of the AAPI Rally that was at the Don Kanabe Park, that was also the scene of a crime, of the beating up of a 70-year-old Filipino man, Asian hate crime. Well, you saw my interview on location, and now I brought him to the studio. And I also brought Jordan, who is one of the youth that has taken all of this horrible stuff that's been happening and turned it into some really positive action. So he's also coming on to let you know what is right with the world, right with people, and how I have a collection and I have a little antenna that finds people who are #BeTheChange. So we'll be right back. Don't go away. For Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. And welcome. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And welcome back. And I have a special treat for you. Those of you who did tune in on Monday got the on-location version of a gentleman I met at an AAPI rally in Cerritos that I got to cover. Janice Hahn, Board of Supervisors, Sheriff Alex Villanueva, I got the name right, who came and spoke, and it was a great afternoon. I also wanted to bring Cesar back, share with you his story of what happened, and then the silver lining or the golden lining of all of this, the people who have come not just to support him, but all the resources we now have in this supporting AAPI. So without further ado, please welcome to my studio, Cesar Echano. Welcome, Cesar. And before you start, I also want to welcome someone who actually presented Cesar with a gift basket because of what he had gone through. Jordan Mendoza, welcome to the studio. Cesar Echano, tell me what happened on June the 5th, 2021.
Me and my wife are usually walking at that park for almost every Saturday. That was we do it for almost 2 months now.
So your next Saturday morning stroll through the Don Kanabe Park in Cerritos, and then what happened?
And then while we are walking, we usually walk at that park. One round of walking like about takes about 30 minutes.
Okay.
And our first round of walking, we are about the 3/4 in the quarter of that circle. There's man at the early 20s is confronting us.
What did he say to you?
He said, "Why are you looking at me? You know, those kind of words that are
Bad words.
bad words." And then I just
were you looking at him? Were you looking at him?
No, not really. Just
you were just walking.
Because,
You're just walking.
Because he is coming from our path, and so when he was confronted us, Well, you're looking at me. So I bow my head. I don't want to look him. And
Mm-hmm.
my wife grabbed my arm and said that, "Oh, this guy, don't mind that. He's just crazy." And
Yeah.
then,
Ignore him. Let's keep going.
yes, I ignore him, and let's keep on walking. And suddenly, I heard the crack of a gun, which is because he has a backpack, holding a
Uh,
backpack. So when I heard that, I jumped and walk the fast because
so
I was scared.
you heard the cock of a gun?
Yes, but I don't know if it's a really gun or just recording or something. But
Okay. So, but
it's
you
like
heard
a
something
cock.
and it scared you.
Yeah, I'm scared. And what we did is we walked past, and then we didn't. My wife told. I told my mom, "Come on, let's go to the car and get out of here." So we walked past to the car. It's
Mm-hmm.
takes about 5 minutes or 10 minutes to go to our car, and
Mm-hmm.
then after that, my wife is the one who is driving, and I'm in the
Okay.
passenger seat.
This is connection, I think.
Well, he knows how to get back in. It's
Yeah,
okay. We can piece it together. We
that's
can
good.
piece it together.
It's a lot of editing work.
Don't remind me.
I was on the passenger side, and suddenly it came from my back. My door opened, and it was very fast. And then the guy punched me on the eye. It was so very fast, and it was he was very strong, and just one punch on my eye. Um,
Did you have
the
glasses on? Did you have your glasses on?
No, no, I
Okay.
don't have glasses at the time.
Okay.
And then
That's
I saw the blood is flowing on my face and on my shirt, and
oh wow.
I was so really scared, and then I told my mom, "Come on, get out of here. Now let's go to the place that we can call 911." So my wife drove out and went to the Bloomfield Avenue, and there was a street over there. Then from there, we called the 911.
Right, right. And
And,
they
and
came.
yes, after a few minutes, the paramedics and ambulance and the sheriff come over almost at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Then the paramedics gave me the pack of ice to
Reduce the
comfort
swelling.
me.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yes,
I told you
yes.
before, and I'll tell you again, I am so sorry that the idiot, I could say more words, bad words, but I won't. I'll get fined by the FCC on the CNBC channel. But I'm sorry that that happened to you. And we showed the pictures before. Maybe I'll clip some out to show if you still have it on your phone, you can see what it was like. Your eye was swollen shut. There's blood. There's still possible damage. You're going to go to the doctor. I think this week you told me to see how
Yes.
it is. Yeah,
I
and
have an
on behalf
appointment.
of the idiot, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a horrible thing to have happen. So then, Jordan, how did you find out about this?
Well, firstly, I'm with several groups, or I work with several groups, such as like AWA, which is Asians with Attitude, and or AAPI United, which is Asian American Pacific Islanders United. And we're really, really heavy on watching out, for these incidents that happen, so we could take action, right? So I have like RSS feed set up for my phone. Anything tagged or hashtag with Asian hate or hate crime pulls up notifications. So I found out that way.
Okay.
Later on, we started rallying together and see how we could better this for Mr. Caesar. Just because we've done so many rallies, we've done so many protests and marches that I personally don't feel that it's impactful. So we wanted to make this different. We wanted to make it a resource center as well as, a victim impactful event for Caesar himself, for you, sir. So that's when we started getting together with Janice or Jane, and we helped them organize the event, and we ran the AAPI booth. And I also was honored enough to bring the Pacific Savages Motorcycle Club, into the event because they wanted to show Caesar love and support too as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's it was funny because the speaker before you came on was talking about Asian stereotypes and the quiet and not make waves, and then you come on with the really loud motorcycle gang with all the tats, and I'm like, if that isn't an oxymoron shift from one to the other. But I think it's wonderful, and that's why I brought you on, is because I wanted to highlight. I agree with you. I think, I've done a number of shows with different people who, organize the protests or part of the protests. And I agree. I think there is a place for protests, but it's become this, we have all this anger and energy and protest. And then what? So I love the fact that the event on Saturday highlighted all of these groups that I didn't know existed, that I wanted to bring on the show to make sure that we all knew there, when bad things happen, the good news is it creates some positive energy to shine some light on temporary areas of darkness. So hate crime, AAPI hate is definitely an area of darkness. What happened to George Floyd and all of the racism and injustice that has been rampant with a leader that allowed or encouraged, Chinese virus, Kung Flu.
Virus,
and I quote one of my not my compatriots, but Lao Tzu, a famous Chinese philosopher, who says, when in the absence of greatness, pettiness prevails.
Of course.
And if that's not what has happened, I don't know what is. So we had a leader, a weak leader, who was not great, and pettiness has prevailed. Capitol Hill is pettiness. It's ugly pettiness. What happened to Cesar getting punched in the face by a young white male who was obviously angry and told Cesar to go home where he came from, called him choice words. Cesar is a beloved elder in the Asian community, and to not only be treated that way, he's not the only one. I had Dion Lim from Channel 7 ABC interviewed. She's the go-to in Northern California. The fact that our elders are being attacked, there's attack and then there's elder attack, which is just unspeakable.
Pretty funny because they would never come up to me or any of my friends that look similar to me and do anything because they know we wouldn't let that happen.
Right.
But we felt that, in these events, especially what happened for the resource event for the API community in Cerritos on the 26th, we wanted to let everybody know that we cannot let that, we can't let that fly anymore. We have to take a stand now. And even if we're around in public common spaces where Caesar, you were, if anything like that goes down, regardless of the race or color, we have to take a stand and stand up for them. And, ultimately it stands us for ourselves.
Yes. We'll be right back with more of Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, back with Jordan and all the things that his groups are doing. And if you are Asian, you might want to listen in and find out what you can do also to help in this effort to stop AAPI hate. Start supporting AAPI. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere on the station that leaves no listener behind. And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. Yeah, absolutely. So when you found out what happened, then what happened?
Basically, I actually asked my chief of my tribe, Pacific Savages, if they were, okay with showing up support. And Pacific Savages does a lot for the community already, so they were, oh yeah, for sure. It's a Filipino who got attacked. He's a, older, or Lolo as we call it, right?
What do you call him?
Lolo.
Lolo? Is that
Yeah,
the
Lolo.
Tagalog name for? Oh, that's so cool. Okay, yeah. Lolo.
So basically, we said, hey, Lolo.
Yes, I'm already 70 years old. I'm a Lolo.
Exactly.
Yes, that's right.
Whoa, that's beautiful.
We can't allow that to happen anymore. And more so, the AAPI United group and AWA group and the ATA Seniors Fight Back group, we all had to move on it and make sure that Cesar was able to come out, held up high. And yeah, it's just been great all around. Cesar, looked like you were having a great time. We love, we want to show you that the community is here for you and we love you. And, we won't let that happen to you again. If there's ever any time where you feel unsafe at a place, please just give me a call. I'll make sure to escort you myself personally.
That's beautiful.
Very great. I'm very grateful. Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you for all your support.
My wife is going to follow you on Facebook.
It's fantastic.
Friends, so you can communicate through me via Facebook Messenger if you like. So anytime you or your wife would like to walk in the park and you feel unsafe, I'm just a message away.
Oh, that's so
yes, I'll do that. Thank you so much.
That's why I want, even though I had already interviewed Cesar and showed the interview, when Jordan confirmed to be my guest on the show, I thought, I think he likes Cesar. Like, he truly likes. It was very touching when you got the gift basket from the Savages. So I thought, why don't I have both of them?
Thank you so much, Jordan.
Yes, I'm so glad.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And
it's a good thing.
I hope you
love it.
And the Savages. We really thought hard of what to get you. So
that's great. What was in the basket? I wanted a basket.
There was of cool shirts, right? Some shirts. Got him a few gift cards.
Yes, lots of his stuff down there.
That's great.
I love it. I like it. Thank you so much.
From our little group at the AAPI United, the Savages.
Great.
It's the least we could do. And again, more so we wanted to empower you again, Cesar, and we wanted to empower the Asian community. Again, like I said in my speech, this isn't a singular event. Actually, pretty funny. On the 26th, that Saturday at around 8:00 p.m., there was an attack that occurred in San Gabriel Valley inside a 99 Ranch store. We just found this out yesterday. So tonight we're actually going to go there and patrol to ensure the safety of our people there too. So it's crazy that this is happening inside a retail store.
What?
Yeah.
What? Wait. So in a Ranch 99, where is this?
In San Gabriel Valley.
And what happened?
There was an attack on, I think a Asian woman was robbed and attacked by 4 men inside a 99 Ranch store.
Inside? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, captured on TV.
Captured on TV is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay, but we're gonna go there tonight to make sure,
Okay, good.
Wanna, patrol that area. That's the kind of stuff that our little groups do. So we wanna, we patrol San Gabriel Valley, Koreatown, Los Angeles, and I think they're setting up foot patrol in Cerritos.
Oh, good. So for those reasons and more, I'd like to give both you, Cesar and Jordan, Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. Not everybody gets that award.
Jordan.
So that's an award for both of you because you're taking action. You're taking positive, safe, caring action. So thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you. Xie. That's
yes,
Chinese.
We have to do that. Share in solidarity is the best weapon.
Yes.
Exactly.
Cesar Echano. And welcome. I have a guest here today who is not just standing by when he hears about hate crimes towards Asian American AAPI, which is just wrong. But you got to meet him in the last segment, and I wanted him to stay on because I want him to tell us what we can do. Because a lot of the times when hate crimes happen, we watch the video, we go, oh, that's so horrible. What's wrong with people? And then that's it. So I'm grateful that he has actually been a part of 2 groups that he's going to talk about. So welcome back to the show, Jordan. So what are these groups? What do they do? And how can people support you?
So the 2 groups that I'm with, or I ally against, or ally with, I should say, is going to be AAPI United and also AWA Asians with Attitude. Basically, I'm not a full-blown member for both groups because I want to support both at the same time, so I can't dedicate or commit to one. The best thing you guys could do if you experience a hate crime that occurs to you, or if something happens to you, after you call 911, of course, you also want to report it to 211. So 211 is a hate crime hotline. That way, these things can get reported, and we can get data on it, and this actually helps prevent hate crimes and also helps the laws that go against the hate crimes that happen. So simple things like that. I mean, if you see it in public, of course, you want to do the best you can to step in, not physically until it gets to that point if you have to, but you always want to defend the weak, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. And right now, our race, especially being considered as the subservient and submissive type, I mean, we have to really step up for each other. And the small things you could do is make your donations to your organizations. You could support incoming rallies. You can support any victims of these hate crimes that happen to by just showing up, or even just by following their pages on Instagram, Facebook, and letting your voice be heard so that we can raise more awareness. And the more awareness that there is out there, the more better it is for everybody because the laws will change because of that.
Mm-hmm. So 211, that wasn't an easy thing to do. That's like a major number. How did that happen?
Well, I mean, it's actually
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
A while now, and if you really want to go deep into it, Asian hate crime specifically has been on a sharp increase and tremendously over actually 160% now. So it's been
is that countrywide, statewide, statewide,
nationwide.
Yeah. So 160% since COVID started?
No, this has been going back since 2012 for data.
2012. What happened in 2012? Did anything?
No, not in particular, but these things are just reported or not reported to the media.
Okay.
And COVID is just now beginning to, get traction, and especially what happened in Atlanta with the mass shootings. It really up. So the movement actually has been going on for a while now.
Can you believe they actually say that that's not a hate crime? And that's not an Asian hate crime?
110% was. So it's all wrongs in all different types of levels.
Yeah.
And so there's little things that we as citizens can do to better protect ourselves and protect the public. These, in California specifically, they're going to pass a bill, SB 82, that allows it for a criminal to attack you and rob you, but as long as your possession that was took wasn't over $900, it wouldn't be a felony. So case in point, that happened in San Francisco, to where a Korean grandma was robbed and beaten up, and she only had I think $20-$30 on her, and they didn't prosecute it as a felony because of the amount of money. So SB 82, if you guys can study up on that, help vote with it. I mean, that's a really, really big push in this drive to, just basically in our fight, in our cause.
So SB 82 is going to correct that so that all robberies are considered felonies.
Yes.
They're a hate crime. Okay.
Police versus prison time.
Okay. So regardless of the dollar amount. So it's going to correct that idiot part of it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's guys could do. I mean, there's a lot you could do, and just reach out to your local, AAPI community pages. I mean, they're everywhere on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and they have events where they post up. And if you show up, that's doing enough already. Okay.
So I'm going to get personal because that's what I like to do. You're young, you're Asian. Did you picture yourself doing stuff like this? Where'd you grow up? What's your story?
So when I was born, I was sent to live in Asia or the Philippines with my auntie, who is a cardiovascular pediatrician. So I was raised with a lot of good Eastern values, right? So I came back to my biological parents in the States when I was about 7 in Mission Hills, Los Angeles, and it was rough. It was a predominantly Hispanic and African American community, and it was kind of ghetto. So every day almost, I swear my dad would pick my brother and I up from school with the principal's office because we'd get into a fight and because of a racial issue. So I've kind of stood strong with that growing up, and going into adulthood, I guess Asians started becoming more accepted and cool, but I still carry that stigma behind me to where there's not a lot of us. We need to protect ourselves and we need to protect our race. So I've always been, or always have had, Asian pride, but now that we are under attack, it's bringing out that side again, more of me. And I just want to empower our people and make sure our elders and our women are safe.
Absolutely. And so what do your parents think of you doing all this? And what is your heritage, by the way? Which Asian? What I actually say this, and I'll probably get in trouble, and only I can say this. So don't repeat this. But when I say what flavor of Asian are you, I mean that in a very non.
That's kind of
it's borderline. I know, but I try to make it cute. I don't know if it comes across as cute, but I try.
Right now, during what's happening, and this is actually a constant topic that's been brought up amongst my group, is that we don't really like to disclose that anymore because it just brings a subdivision within our cultures, right? It's like they were Asian now. So that's why when I went up on stage, I didn't really do all that. We classify American, but I am Filipino.
Okay, thank you for that. That's a good, because I mean, one of the questions, I facilitated a listening session for the city of Santa Monica, and one of the questions that came up was, how can you even say Asian, because there's so many differences within the Asian community. And I don't know about you, I grew up very prejudiced against different kinds of Asians. And I used to joke about how prejudiced, Chinese people were, and it's not funny, but I like that. It's just saying you're Asian and not identifying what kind to unite us. But at the same time, we are different. We have those. So Filipino, a lot of people think I'm Filipina. Actually, Filipinos think I'm Filipina, but I'm Chinese with a dash of Mongolian, so don't piss me off. But I do like that. I like that it's uniting Asians. Now, what about Asians working with other people of color, other colorful groups, as I call them? Because you just mentioned your upbringing. People of color were the issues with your particular difference.
So that's a tough one, because a lot of these groups, and you were at the event, I'm sure you witnessed, they push their own agenda regardless of what the event subject or context is for. So in case in point, I mean, some people were there who tried to infiltrate and cause a scene. Well, they did cause a scene and cause some ruckus during the event, which was supposed to be for the victim. It was just rude. I can't really say where they're from. I don't know. But it's just, all in all, it's about unity with us, and we will protect any race as long as they need to be protected. Like, there's a lot of Hispanic street vendors that are getting attacked on the streets of Los Angeles, and we do our best to protect them too. It's not about Asians itself; it's about bringing unity in this common space, which we preach.
I love that. That's excellent, because there is that perception, especially the attacks that have been shown on camera. That I hear all the time, it's people of color hurting people of color, which is bullshitaki. I had Connie Chung Jo from Advancing Justice, Asian Justice in LA, and it's less than 10% of people of color hurting people of color. So the majority is not that. The majority is white Americans. And again, not all white Americans are bad. But there is a contingency that is attacking elder Asian people like Mr. Echano.
Yeah.
So we have that firsthand. That's not made up. It's not a conspiracy theory. It happens. The Ranch 99, you're talking about all of the ones that have been very visible in Northern and Southern California and New York. So it's time. It's absolutely time. So tell people how to find your website or your hashtag or your Insta.
Instagram, you can go with Asians with Attitudes, just the way it said, it's spelled _ afterwards, and then you can go on AAPI United, just the way it said, one word.
And the 211, that
211,
is.
It's a hotline for any kind of hate crime incidents that occur. So you can call them and they can file the report for you, and it could be logged in a data or a database where we can actually collectively pull it at the end of the year, just to give an incentive on where the demographics and what locations it's happening most of and such.
Great. And can I ask how young you are?
I'm 30. I'm 36. I almost forgot.
Oh, you look young. So I thought you were like early 20s.
Oh no.
So, but so you're a millennial, or you're
I'm half Generation X, half millennial.
Okay. So but I asked because I want to commend you again. We have all these BS belief systems about the young people, and I wanted to highlight the fact that there's so much good in this. I call you guys the radical generation. The what do you mean you deserve respect? Prove it to me. And there's been a lot of issues. Look at your tats. I mean, the people will be like, "What, rebel?" But I want to highlight it's because of this wait a minute attitude that things are getting better, that people are getting involved, that they're standing up. I want to close with what I love. What does that mean? Asian with attitudes. Like, who came up with that, and what are you trying to communicate with that? Is it because of the model minority stuff, or I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when you came up with that name.
Well, basically, I think the founder is from East Coast, New York, and that's where a lot of the violence and hate crime incidents have occurred against our Asian community. So there were I think it's a moniker basically that we cannot be silent anymore. We cannot be submissive, subservient, and it's just time to fight back. I mean, that's where, Asians with attitude.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you again. I already gave you the award. I'm not going to give it to you again. But I appreciate you taking the time to come on, sharing. 211, if you see a crime, if you witness a crime, if you are part of being a victim of, and I don't like the word victim, if you have been put upon with an Asian hate crime, call 211, report it, say something. And I'll put the moose on the table for this. So that's, by the way, my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. Yeah. So the moose on the table is, it is part of our elders' generation to not say anything.
Yeah, not anymore.
And I don't want to dishonor that, because that was sacred to them, right? Don't air your dirty laundry. Don't talk about stuff outside the home. Don't bring shame on the family. The nail that stands up is hammered down. And I want to honor that. But the time has come for us to speak up, and we as Asians are just as important as other people of color, as people of as my guest Jane Elliott will say, it's not, there's no such thing as a white race. You're not white. Everybody has a color. Exactly. So, but the lighter colors were just as important. So absolutely get that attitude. I'm not thrilled about copying an attitude necessarily. A respectful standing up for oneself and one's race, family, and heritage is definitely. Thank you so much, Jordan. I ask one question to all of my guests to end. To whom or what are you most grateful for?
Grateful for my kids. I mean, that's what it's about at the end of the day. I want to make a better place for them. All three of them. Kian, Kayla, Elijah. I love you guys so much.
Aww, how old are they?
They're 7, 12, and 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have the oil of Olay Asian skin. I would have never have guessed that, but that's beautiful. Well, peace in and peace out to them. I think it's wonderful what you're doing. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Peace in, peace out,
So,
world peace,
yeah, world peace.
world peace through inner peace.
There you go.
There, you
Oh,
know, Dr. Marissa, salute now. Thank
all
you
right.
so much for joining Jordan Mendoza here in studio on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. And it's also a very special day today. It is July 1st. And those of you who don't know, I was actually born in Canada. So that's my country of birth. And then after 9/11, I became an American, my country of choice. But since it is Dominion Day, I had to wear a little red. It's not red and white, it's red and gold. But I just wanted to say thank you, Canada, for birthing me. Thank you to my parents who came from China to make a better world for me. I was born in a little town called Waterloo, Ontario, and that's halfway between Toronto and Niagara Falls. And I am so grateful that I was born in North America. So to say happy birthday to Canada, I thought I would just whip out my old anthem. And if anyone else is Canadian, you can sing along. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Happy birthday, Canada, my home of birth. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace, and have the best day ever. And it is time to say goodbye. That went fast. I know that tomorrow is going to be a day that we get ready for our 4th celebration. I'm going to have on the captain of the fire department from Riverside talking about fire awareness. Certainly, we want to be really safe over this holiday. That's tomorrow's show. I'm grateful that you're still here, that you are with me on my balancing out of all the bad news that's around, what's wrong with people, because there's so much that is right with people. I will continue bringing guests and hitting topics that prove that point to you. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and everywhere streaming on the station that leaves no listener behind. Dr. Marissa, hoping you have the best day ever.